Hello people, it's Dodi, and today we are finally going to give Porch Spring Baby some features. As you can tell, I put her back together and she looks a lot different from when we started. But she needs eyes. Now we've been talking about eyes, and Fairy made them on a Gerber baby, but this is the old-fashioned way that they used to make them when this doll was made. You'll notice that on the left I've already put the pupil in, and on the right I just put the iris in. The whole thing about babies in this era is that they always were side glancers, unless it was a glass eye baby. If it was a painted baby, it was always to the side. Now you'll notice, let's get you up here a little bit closer. If you'll notice, it's all the way out to the corner, and that circle is not totally round. It's actually clipped in the corners, so it's more of an ovoid. You'll notice this one that I've already painted in. I mean, anybody can do a circle, so go ahead and do that. But it's over in the corner. Now, one thing you can do, hang on a second, let me get some color in here. One thing you can do easily is just make that circle the way you make your circles. And if it goes out, which is what a lot of people do, don't worry about it, because you can clean it up. You can see I've made a mess. Did it deliberately. Simply dampen out and take out the part that you don't want. While your paint's fresh, you can do that. And it saves you from having to take and put all that effort into making perfect circles and all that good stuff. You don't need it. Just clean up as you go. You're using acrylics with water, you're using oils. I use mineral spirits. So I've got the one, and you can see the other one looks pretty much the same. Now I'm going to use just a dab of black. No sense in putting it in the palette. And I'm going to be putting it off center. Because they are not looking, and it's going to take out a bit of the circle on one side. The reason why is, if you look at a baby, one, unless it's a child of color, those eyes are going to be blue. The color doesn't come into a child's eyes until about 3 months, usually. But it's off center, if you will notice, simply because it's looking in the other direction. So that circle is not going to be perfectly centered. it's going to be off at an angle. And since it's going to be off at an angle, you're not going to have perfection. And it's not necessary. Get my spotter out here. So you've got half an eye with no color in it. Now you've got your wide-eyed baby. And you go, okay, so far so good. Now you need eyelashes. Well, actually, what you need is for your baby to have some kind of definition. But you don't use black. Because if you look at a child, and even a child of color, it's not black. It's closer to their hair. And since I've already decided this baby is going to be blonde, I'm going to be putting the hair color on. You don't need a whole lot. And one that really gives definition to the baby is just a little bit, not a lot, just a little bit at the bottom. You don't need that line the whole eye. The mistake we make when we put paint on a baby is we think in terms of what the baby will look like eventually. Now, in today's society, we see black eyeliner, dark brown eyeliner, and that's where the mistake happens, when you try to put color on a baby, because babies don't have color. They're babies. And if you look at a picture of a baby, there isn't any of that color. And there isn't a whole lot of eyelashes. So, and that's the reason it was always, let's put her little eyebrows on, just a little. Because if you look at a baby, go look at baby pictures, Google up baby pictures, and you'll see there's not much there. You think there is because that's what you're used to seeing in adults, but it's not. Now, you can make this a little darker. Than what I've done. But looking at babies, they don't have real defined eyelashes and eyebrows. It's just real tiny. Just like that. And your baby looks surprised, which is where they're looking. Without being too much. Now, if you don't like it, start off light. If you don't like it, you can always gradually go darker. In fact, let's do that. I'll go to my palette. Put a little bit more brown to it in one section. But I found that the best way to do it is start off with your hair color, decide on that, and then go and work from there. If the hair color is fine, go for it. And it doesn't take much. It really doesn't. Now, one thing that is different between Tammy and I is she is working on a big doll. This doll is all of 10 inches. So, I'm working on a little tiny doll. She's working on a bigger doll, but the principles are still the same. And for those of you who are wondering, this is a spotting brush. It's that small. And that's all there is to it. Remember that your baby is still a baby. So she's not wearing makeup. She's being a baby. And as you can see, you don't need to carry all that eye makeup because babies don't wear eye makeup, remember? You're doing good to keep the other end dry, as we all know. Now then, since we've gotten that done, sit there, baby. Nope, doesn't want to, like a typical little one. While we're on the subject, let's get her little mouth done up. Oh, poo. Now you can mix any color you choose. But in this case, I'm just going to go straight red. And it really is just paint by number. And once again, while you're right there and you need to clean up, just take off what you don't want. Oh, poo. And there you go. One painted baby. And you don't have to go real dark. You don't have to go black. You can always go brown. But start light and go down until you're happy with your till you're very happy with what you've already got. Now the last thing we're going to do today is put the highlights in. And that's just one of those things that you have to think about where you want a highlight to be. Now highlights make the doll's eyes look more realistic. And this is where you want your spotting tool, by the way. Just straight out of the tube. In our historical, they just put a slash on one side and once in a while put a dot on the black. And there's our baby. Not overpainted. Doesn't look like she's trying for Little Miss America. Just a baby. And there we go. That's this week's lesson. And we will talk to you in a little bit. But in the meantime, remember to do the stuffs. And leave comments to let me know what else you need to know about this. And we'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.